Hello and welcome back to Chasing the Target. We are in crunch time in the ICC T20 World Cup, and that's why I had to get my co-host with me because there's too much to talk about. A lot of things happening, but we've got our two semi-finalists: New Zealand yesterday and today. England are the second semi-finalists. So a bit of a tricky end for them, but they managed to finish it off. And my boy Ben Stokes playing a crucial innings there. Don, how are you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm the obviously the big news is that Australia is it goes crashing out in their hometown, or in their home country. They go
Yes.
crashing out. The big loss against New Zealand in the first game of the tournament really set the
Yes.
tone for them, and
It was net
they
run
haven't.
rate in the air, dude.
Yeah, and they haven't been their explosive best this tournament. If you notice, no one gave them a chance last World Cup, but they came out all guns blazing and they ended up winning the tournament, beating Pakistan in that semi-finals, which was a very important game for them. Pakistan in that kind of form that they were in that tournament, they haven't looked the same since. I feel like they've started to like get a bit rusty with their players, and that there's that Warner's not performing, Wade is older. Maxwell is not getting the runs. There's been that little bit of a problem over there since, and it's not it's surprising because it's just been a year since the last World Cup, right? So it's a little surprising that it's just gone down so kind of tepid for them. It's just been very, 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 very difficult. I think just unfortunate for Australia, but I think New Zealand and England are deserved winners over there. England was one of the other teams that we expected. New Zealand, obviously, in ICC tournaments, they're a different beast. I think we should start respecting that. Uh, for from time immemorial, they've been fantastic in ICC tournaments, and no one ever gives them the credit for that. So hats off to both teams. And specifically talking about today's game, if we talk about it, England, Ben Stokes coming in clutch again, man. This guy, I don't understand. Like coming in clutch, having the sense to be the pitches were getting slow. Having that sense to play that mature kind of an innings. Hats off to him, man. I mean,
This
best all
close to
rounder in
getting
the world for
criticized.
a reason, huh?
You admitted it. I was this close to getting smashed today because if he did get out, I would have also had to criticize him because this is where he needed to perform. When
Yeah.
this team was, but he did it, man. This is why I backed him. This is exactly why I backed him, and this is why I say he's the best all rounder. He's done it time and again. This was not the first time.
And he's bowling well too. He's starting off like he's opening the bowling as well. He's giving you runs with the bat. What more can you want? Like he is everything Hardik Pandya wants to be.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. I'm in a public location right now, so I'd be going crazy. But Don, you mentioned Australia. I didn't have them in my semifinals, and to be very
Yeah,
honest with you, that was more just I kind of feel I'm lucky right now, like that I predicted New Zealand, England. I won New Zealand just based on the history, not because of current form. Current form, and if you look at the team, if you, man for man, I would take that Australian team any time of the day. They have all the all rounders, they have batsmen, bowlers, they have everything that you need. So
yeah.
for me, it was a big shock, even though I predicted New Zealand and England. And yeah, you already mentioned that it's been not their tournament, but at home they'll be very very disappointed.
Yeah, absolutely. I think credit to you to pick New Zealand. I think not a lot of teams were picking them because they had a slightly kind of a quietish few months where they've struggled with the bat with playing as well. They haven't been their best, and Kane Williamson's also not been like in form, and
They lost
he's
that
been
Test
there.
series as well to Pakistan.
Exactly. Yeah, they lost it to Pakistan, so they haven't come into this tournament with very great form. But just something about the
Hunter is in the house.
something about New Zealand has just been fantastic over the years, especially in ICC tournaments. I'm glad that they won the Test championship, and I think if India doesn't win, I'd back New Zealand to win this one, man, for
Yeah.
sure.
Punter, again, I'll ask you. I don't know if you're free or not. If you're free, we'll send you the link. You can join us as well because you haven't made your debut yet. But yeah, I think New Zealand. Outstanding. I was. Let's go into specifics in today's game between England and Sri Lanka. So let's have a look at the eye test.
Yeah.
Don, the one guy he's completely thrown me off guard. I just could not predict this. I watch a lot of cricket, day in, day out. But if you told me that Sam Curran will be the best death bowler in this tournament, I would have like hated your hand up. There's no way. Like I wouldn't have said. But the way he bowled, and it's not the cutters or slower balls. He's bowling his normal speed, like proper his
Yeah.
fastest delivery, which is like 136, 135. It's not supremely fast, but it's the wide Yorkers which he's nailing for a left arm. He's getting the exact perfect angle right. And again today, man, Sri Lanka are on course for 180. The way he bowled, of course, there was Mark Wood there and Woakes, but for me, it was him who restricted Sri Lanka.
I think Sam Curran has been such a revelation for England. I think I love the fact that England, they pick and choose. They have a wide variety of players now, but they pick and choose, and then they're not afraid to let someone go, like for example a Chris Jordan go because you find a Sam Curran who's better. Chris Jordan, a couple of years back, was the death bowler who was giving them the overs, a couple overs in the end and everything, but they saw an improvement in Sam Curran and they've gone with that. Where if someone like other teams, like I think the Australian in the past were ruthless like that, and now I think England is being ruthless like that. They're finding gems and then they're going with that. They are going with that, and then they're giving them enough time to settle down and give them the whatever they need to perform. And then in the crunch stages like today, an important game today where you need to win to qualify, you come in like that, and then Sam Curran gives you those kind of overs in the end, gives you just absolutely fantastic by Sam Curran. I think he's put in a lot of work. The injuries have not helped him. Unfortunately, he's been kind of in and out of the side, not because he doesn't want to play, but because of the injuries. But then coming back for the Pakistan series, where he played all the games, and he got into his rhythm and he was ready to kind of just go in there and perform to the level that he has now. And this England side is looking fantastic now. And Sam Curran adds that dimension to them because he can give you some runs with the bat as well. And he's been bowling fantastically well in the death for consistently now through the course of the tournament. So it's just been fantastic to see. More power to this young man, man. I think he comes from a cricketing kind of family where he also has other brothers, but he's the youngest one, and he's come out, on top of someone like a Tom Curran as well, who was in the side but has not really been able to cement his place over there. But just the passion, the aggression that we see in him and in his bowling, and sometimes with the bat as well. That stint with CSK has done him a world of good, and I think that I will always add that in there. Mahendra Singh Dhoni has a little bit of a part to play in that for sure, and just fantastic to see someone like a Sam Curran really come into his own now.
Outstanding, man. Like, we saw him against India that he's always a thorn in their skin, especially in test matches. We saw that series in 2018. But the way he developed in Australia, like, as a T20 death over specialist is just beyond me. I don't know how he's done it. I'm sure the wider square boundaries has helped him because he's nailing
Yeah,
those wide
yeah,
Yorkers. It's very difficult to hit that to a boundary. Now his test will be in Adelaide. Adelaide, the square boundaries are shorter
shout
and the
out.
straight is longer. But again, I think he maybe be more stump to stump and make the batsman hit down the ground. So he plays according to the field, and is basically his accuracy is really helping him. So yeah, credit to him over there.
Adelaide,
And yeah,
Adelaide, Adelaide Oval against the King and the Sky would be his biggest test.
oh Don, you jumped the gun. Huh? I was gonna get to
I'm
that.
finishing India on top, bro.
I agree with you. A lot of people like they're a bit scared about tomorrow's game, and rightly so because we've seen upsets. But I'm with you. I'm going confident into tomorrow. We'll talk more about that.
Yeah.
Another person I really want to talk about in the eye test. Of course, we already talked about Ben Stokes. I want to talk about
Batum.
Adil Rashid.
You know what,
Uh,
Batum?
Patum, yeah, we
Batum
will talk
Nissanka.
about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about Nisanka, but I will talk about Adil Rashid because Adil Rashid today, the way he bowled, outstanding. You can see in the SEG, it is conducive to spin. He really read the conditions well. He just picked up a wicket, but his economy rate really bought things
16
out for Sri
runs.
Lanka.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I think
outstanding stuff.
Yeah, I think 4 overs to 16 runs. I think, like you mentioned a little bit, like the SCG has been a little bit conducive to spin. And I think in the end, when we saw the interview with Alex Hales as well, he said after the power play was slowing down a bit, because the pitches are getting used and everything. So it is it is understanding or the reading of the pitch, and being able to execute it the way Adil Rashid did. He has the experience now, but I think he's been a quiet kind of a warrior in this side right now. It's just been fantastic to see Adil Rashid really come into his own again as the prime spinner. He has been the prime spinner for the side, and just beautiful to see Adil Rashid go the distance, kind of with the ball, and he's been like the kind of the quiet one in this very swashbuckling kind of a bowling attack. You talk about the likes of Jofra Archer, Mark Wood. We've been talking up Chris Woakes for a while. Whoever else comes in, but Adil Rashid has been quietly doing his business. He hasn't really been. Anytime a spinner has come in to challenge him, he's really outshone that spinner by a mile. Talking about, I think, the other leg spinner that came in. I think what is was and Parkinson's. I think
Parkinson, yeah.
yeah, Parkinson was there, but I think Adil Rashid, um, kind of just went out there, did his business, and then just showed them that he is the better kind of spinner out there. And he's been doing it time and time again. I think he's been one of the mainstays in this England side since that kind of debacle in 2014, 2015, when they really restarted um, changed things up when they had a terrible tournament, and now they're a force to reckon with. A lot of that has to do with the fact that Adil Rashid is giving you overs in the middle that are very, very important. And just hats off to him. He sometimes, with the combination of Moeen Ali, Livingston, it doesn't matter who he has around with him. He's always on the bunny, with the ball. Again, 4 overs, 16 runs. Just fantastic. When you have a little bit of assistance from the pitch to be able to utilize it the way he did, just hats off.
Yeah, and that allows England not only to perform in these conditions, but also in subcontinent
Yeah,
conditions and against
absolutely.
subcontinental teams because, there are good players in spin, but when you have quality spinner like that in your team, not only are you, causing problems to the opposition, but also in the nets, you have a quality spinner, so you can also improve your game against spin. So that
Yeah.
really helps. He's bowling to the likes of Stokes, Livingston, these guys. They will also take, when they come up against a Shadab or a Chahan, they will be much more prepared, I think, going into those kind of matches.
Absolutely, and any conditions, if you want, you can get 12 overs of spin out of this England side, because Livingston is a no mug with the ball. You have Moeen Ali, who hasn't been bowling at all. He's been bowling an over here and there. So you have about 12 overs of spin in there. Then you don't really need to, kind of do anything else. So it's just fantastic. It's perfect. I just love it.
Yes, and
This
you
is
really wanted to talk
proper
about
English side.
Nisanka. You want to talk about Nisanka? I also, that was a very good shout today. He batted really well, set up the game for Sri Lanka. Unfortunately, the lower order could not contribute and take them to, 170, 180. But he set the platform, and today, excellent batting and really good shots, and really put England under pressure in the beginning.
I mean, like Hills mentioned, it made a lot of sense that in the beginning the pitch was holding up well. With the new ball, they were able to like go get going. And I think Pathum is one of those guys that has been very, very good for Sri Lanka through the tournament. He has been scoring those runs. You saw in the qualifiers as well. He scored some runs. He has been scoring consistently. I think Sri Lanka has a lot of chips together. They have everything kind of in order. It's just a matter of making the final kind of uh, integrations that they need, one or two maybe just changes little bit, just maybe improve your bowling. They have been injury ridden as well, but if they can get one or two fast bowlers, I think this is a side with the force to reckon with, man. They've just been very, very good. And I think Nisanka at the top, they have Kusal Mendes, who's been giving them runs consistently with the ball, is with the in the top order. If they and they've been coached well by Chris Wood. They've been captained well by Darshan Shanaka, and they have a well-rounded team. So it's just you can see that this team is getting ready to be a force again, because Sri Lankan cricket in the past has always been a force to reckon with. And it's just good to see that there are a lot of these pieces in place. It's just a matter of the last minute details, and getting going out there to really perform. They've already won the Asia Cup. They're already a force in the subcontinent. Now it's a matter of taking it to the next level and performing all over the world. And I think just specifically talking about Nisanka, I think he's been the mainstay of batter for them. He's just been very, very good for them through the past few months, and more power to him.
And his timing is sensational, man. On these big grounds, he's really getting his timing correct, and he's finding the boundary with ease. So, credit to him over there. This is a nice segue to our next segment. Now Aussie's out. will England become the strongest contender or India? I'll be very honest. If I answer this question, I think if India do qualify, all four teams, anyone can win. And I don't rate India the strongest contender out of those four on paper, but Adelaide, Virat Kohli, I would back that team. That's like it's a different kind of vibe. Like normally, if you look at the 2019 semifinals, India were favorites for me going into that, and I thought they would win that World Cup. Or the India England final for sure, and anyone can win. Over here, I would say maybe the South Africa New Zealand game is very tough for me to call. England,
What a
India,
game that's
England,
going to be. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
we are jumping the gun. We are giving
yeah.
India and Pakistan, India
We'll
and South
discuss that.
Africa.
Uh,
Yep.
if they do, but
Yeah.
then it's going to be very tough to call. And the India England also, if that's the semi final, then if you look at that England team on paper, I'd put them favorites. But again, if you put them under pressure, we've seen that middle order is struggling for England again today. Chasing 140, they did falter. So India do have some bowlers who can put that English team under pressure, and they have the batsmen as well. I think in the top order, if they can get firing, they can put that England team under pressure. Although, so like if I look at it, I would probably say England and South Africa on paper, but it's a very fine margin. I would say like 1%, like 51-49. That's what I would do. But let's talk about tomorrow, Don.
Yeah.
And so our next segment is the fantasy picks. So this is our tips and chips section. We have a triple header tomorrow. South Africa versus Netherlands, Pakistan versus Bangladesh, and India versus Zimbabwe. If you want on two picks from each match, maybe that's easier than doing like each team. There are two picks from each match. You can go
Yeah, yeah, for
1-1
sure.
or you can go 2-0. So let's start with the first game, South Africa Netherlands. And there was saying that if that was washed out, then South Africa might be out. But it looks like the weather is clear and
It's picking up now. Yep.
Adelaide.
Yep.
Yeah, it's clear in Adelaide, and we should have both games. And also, if it does rain in the South Africa game, there's good chances it'll rain in the Pakistan game because it's the same venue. So,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
So
but I think the weather is clear. South
I'll
Africa
I'll
surely,
go
surely
with
can't show right now.
yeah, I'll go with South Africa and you go with Netherlands, the players to pick for.
Easy.
I like to
Yeah,
put you on the spot there.
yeah.
But I think for South Africa, I think you have seen the Adelaide Oval, square pitches. I think the fast bowling has been a little bit better off over there because spinners have been tonked around a little bit. So South Africa is just very easy. You always go with the Angrik Noki or whatever. But this time I'm going to go with Kagiso Rabada. I think he's been relatively quiet in this very swashbuckling kind of South African pace lineup.
He's actually
He's
he has been underperforming.
I think the likes of Lungi Ngidi and Angrik Nokie have been the mainstays and picking up those wickets at kind of will. So I think Kagiso Rabada coming in clutch, I surely, like you said, South Africa can't choke here. I mean, against the Netherlands, who's been probably, with due respect to every side, to them and every other side as well, I think they've probably been the weakest of the lot. Amongst the top Super 12 teams, I think they've been the ones that have struggled the most. I would, with again, like I said, with due respect to any of the other teams, I think it's been very, very close this World Cup. But I think surely South Africa can't lose from over here. So for sure, I think I'm gonna go with Kagiso Rabada, and I'm gonna go with Quinny at top. Poor outing against Pakistan, but I think come back into his own. He might enjoy these conditions a little bit more and then really get out there and have like a big performance and get this team up there to get ready against New Zealand.
Yeah, the only thing for me is that it's a must-win game, and it is in South
We have
Africa's
seen in the
nature to
past.
mess it up. But surely this is not going to happen. I think again, 99% favorite South Africa. From Netherlands, for me, it's probably Miskeren and Odoid as well. Like at the top, if he can
Yeah,
put Rabada under pressure, then that gives Netherlands a good start. And then Miskeren has been bowling really well. He's been doing good against the bigger teams. But it's going to be a tough ask, man. Especially if the Nokia Rabada get going and then you have Nkiti, it's going to be very difficult for Netherlands. And then you have Quintin de Kock at the top, Russo. Russo, he either scores big or doesn't score
yeah.
big. In the last few games, he hasn't. So I think this is his game. He might score like a 120, 130, man. So
He's struggling. He's struggling against the left arm pace. You have noticed
yeah,
against three times
Arshdeep,
of this
yeah,
seen against
Arshdeep
Arshdeep.
and
So
Shaheen. Yeah,
and Shaheen.
he has. And then the other game, Pakistan versus Bangladesh. You want to go Pakistan, fans go
Oof.
Bangladesh. Make it easy for you.
No, Bangladesh is not that hard to as well, to be very honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think again must win game for Pakistan to remain and hope that some of the other teams the games go
Same
in
can be
their
said for
favor. You know.
Bangladesh, right?
Well, technically, yes, very true. So it's going to be a fun game because Pakistan, Bangladesh, in the past, you've seen some nail biters. Like
Yeah.
Bangladesh is known to bring in nail biters when it matters the most, and it's just fun to watch that. So I think yeah, it's been good. I think it's time for Babar to shine, man. I mean, he's had such a timid kind of a tournament.
You picked
Very
him
very
in these last
surprising.
two
This
or three games.
yeah, he's just been completely out of sorts, which is surprising because he was not that bad just a few months, like a couple months back, you know. So completely going out of sorts like that is a little surprising. And now people are starting to think that Virat's form has come back. Now they're talking about Babar. It's unfair because I think that Babar is still the best batsman that Pakistan have. He might not be a Virat Kohli, but I think he's still out there as one of the top batsmen in the world, and he has been consistently performing for the past 2 years. So to just knock it out so quickly is a little unfair. So I think it's time for Babar to shine. It's time for Babar to shut his doubters up. In the past, when there was a little bit of a question about that, he scored like a 94 or 60 and really changed the complexion. When you need it the most, it's time for captain to shine. Babar Azam has to shine over here. And I think if you go with the bowlers, I think Haris Rauf has had a very good tournament. I'm backing him to continue doing well.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the key. How Bangladesh handle the Pakistani bowlers is going to be a big challenge for them. And you saw what happened against South Africa. Bangladesh completely collapsed. Against India, there was no Bumrah there. I know we keep mentioning that, but
Yeah,
that extra pace that Pakistan have, that can trouble Bangladesh. And that's why I think Pakistan are firm favorites in this game. I think 70-30, just because I know that Bangladesh in the past have had issues with quality fast bowling, and it will be difficult again for sure. Now, if
absolutely.
I look at it for Bangladesh, Little Das, man, Adelaide is becoming his backyard now. After Kohli, that innings was outstanding. But I'm going to go with the favorite player, Saqib Al Hasan. Like you talked
Oof.
about, the captain needs to step up. I think
We
he needs to step up with both bat and ball. If he can give me a couple wickets, 26, 27 runs, or even 30 runs, and then hit a 40, 50, uh, that can put the pressure on Pakistan. And so I'm looking at Saqib. Big games, you want your big players to step up. And Bangladesh, I know that comment he made about, we're not here to win and all that, but that's all mind games, and I don't believe whatever he was saying. It's just to
yeah,
put pressure on India. It's just a tactic. So I'm going to go with Saqib Ul Hassan. Yeah, I think that wraps up this game.
absolutely. Yep, let's go.
India versus Zimbabwe. You go Zimbabwe, I go India. Actually, I can go
No,
Zimbabwe
it's fine.
also
I
because
can
I
go
know
Zimbabwe. It's fine.
you're
It's fine.
very
It's fine.
passionate
You can
about
go India.
India.
I no
You're
no.
very passionate.
No, it's totally fine. That's why you should go maybe because I'll get too passionate about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think in terms of Zimbabwe, I think they've been very good. Their bowling has really surprised me. I think with the bat we've seen they had Sean Williams, they had Irvine. They have a couple of old folks there that have had some experience in the past. The likes of Sikandar Raza coming in. It has I was a little bit more surprised with the likes of Engarava and Richard and uh, Masakad's come on,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
always forget his name. But I think all the bowling has been the one that has really surprised me.
Blessing.
These newer Blessing and Garava is his name, and then Richard is the other name, the other guy.
Yeah.
I can't get his last name. So Blessing and Richard have been very good up top. The likes of Sikandar Raza has bowled very well against Sean William has bowled well as well. So I'm going to go with the pace duo of Richard and Blessing. If they can get the top order has struggled in Pakistan. The likes of Babar and Rizwan have not really been scoring runs. But again, two, three quick wickets and get that middle order in again. And let's see if Chachu and Shadab can
Why are you
continue
talking
the.
about? Why are you talking about
No, no,
Pakistan
I'm
missing
saying, I'm
India?
saying, I'm saying,
Oh,
if
sorry.
the pace bowling of if the pace bowling can get two, three quick wickets, if
Yeah.
the Richard and Blessing can get quick wickets, I think then I want to see what Chachu and Shadab do again. Is what I meant.
But
Like
Chachu and
if
Chata won't be playing that game.
oh shit, India Zimbabwe.
Chachu will be playing against
Had a
Bangladesh. But yes,
brain fart over there. But
so
yeah, but
let
what I
me
meant, what what I meant is probably having because even the openers in India are not doing well. It's just surprisingly a little bit confused over there. But if they can get
Yeah.
Rohit and KL again quickly, that would put. I don't think it would put pressure on Virat and Sky, but it'd be interesting to see how that kind of plays out because Virat and Sky have been in the form of their lives. Uh, so,
मैं irritated
but
through because there's the
I
football is
know,
going on.
I
We
know.
have a
Yeah,
football channel as well, so we have to keep alert on all
keep
situations.
everything. Yeah, that screen has to
Uh,
continue. Yep.
and I think everyone's
So,
captain is on right now. Haaland, I think came on if I'm not wrong, but I'm not
but
sure. That's what I was looking at. Yeah.
and Cancelo red card is killing me, man. Right now, I've just lost the plot with FPL, but we'll talk about that in the other
Yeah, he's
section.
not on right
So,
now. Yeah, agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
so. But I think, but like I said, I think if the bowling can really step up again, like they have been through this tournament, I'll just be it'll be an easy pick to pick Sikandar Raza, but I want to see Blessing and Richard go one more time, before they call it. But if indeed they call it, so let's
Yeah.
see how that goes.
I'm telling you from now, if it's India versus England, my two fantasy picks are Hardik Pandya and Ben Stokes. Okay, uh, uh, I'm reserving Hardik Pandya for the big game because I trust you. You said he was going to perform in the big game. Tomorrow, I'm going to go with Rohit Sharma. I think he did score for against Netherlands, but I need him to see more rhythm. And again, I think Williamson showed, even Ben Stokes showed to a certain extent. Finchy also that you can take your time and then you can accelerate. Virat Kohli has done that as well, and
Yeah.
Rohit Sharma may be rushing into his shots because of pressure from the other end. I don't know what it is, but he needs to I think take a bit of time and he can accelerate way quicker than maybe a Kohli or Williamson. So I think he needs to take at least 6, 7 deliveries, relax a bit, and score a big one tomorrow. I'm hoping for like a 80, 90
I
from Rohit Sharma.
I think KL's 50 will help him a little bit if that indeed was his problem about like
Yeah,
getting goes
I
to the
think KL
fastest
can go
start.
from word to go. Maybe just swap the roles a bit because KL maybe in the middle overs against spin and everything. Again, I'll back Rohit Sharma to clear the boundary more than KL Rahul. So if KL Rahul can go from ball one, make use of the power play, I would like to see Rohit Sharma stay there till the at least till the 13th, 14th over. And I think he'll get a good 70, 80 odd. So he's
Absolutely.
my pick
Looking
over
forward to
there.
it.
Yeah, and from the bowling, listen, I would have picked Chahal any day, but he's not. I don't know if he's going to play. And India is really lacking that next spin. If you see all the teams who are performing, even Pakistan against South Africa, Shadab performed, the Zampa's performing, the Rashid is performing, Ish Sodhi is performing, and I would pick Chahal in my team any day, but he's not there. And honestly, he's not been in form either. But yeah, if I have to look at the bowling, for me, it'd be between Arshdeep and Shami. I'll go with Shami because I think Shami again that extra pace can bother Zimbabwe if he can get that bounce also. Just has to be careful because the square boundaries. No, no, they're playing an MCG. Yeah, he doesn't
MCG.
need to be careful. Yeah, because
Everything is long over there.
yeah, because Sikandar Raza likes to play the cross the line, right? So I was just thinking if it's an Adelaide, you have to be a bit careful. But yeah, I think the line to Sikandar Raza has to be wide off, both for Arshdeep and Shami has to be wide off stump. Arshdeep can actually try those slower Yorkers or even, just try
Those
to bowl it
cutters, yeah.
outside the off stump and make him play. Across the center, outside the heavy field and try to play him over there because anything like that is going to smash you.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and from India's point of view, also they have to be careful. Sikandar Raza as well, like with the ball is kind of dangerous. So, Surya Kumar, I know he likes to play one shot too many sometimes, but he just needs to be a bit aware of the situation and the variations. Um, but yeah,
Absolutely.
Don, if you can just quickly go through the permutations for tomorrow,
It's it's
so
it's it's pretty simple. I mean, I don't have my paper like Vinay usually brings in, but I think now it's become relatively simple. If India wins, India qualifies. If South Africa wins, South Africa qualifies. For Pakistan and for Bangladesh, or for that matter, it is the fact that they should win their game. They should win it by a relatively decent-ish margin, and hope for South Africa's game to hope for Netherlands to beat South Africa or for it to be washed out. I think both of them are in the same bucket here, right? And India losing is probably the only thing that will essentially happen. I still don't think India will. Well, India can go out as well, yeah. So never mind. India needs to win to go through. South Africa needs to win to go through. Pakistan and Bangladesh need to win and expect that either India or South Africa loses. So that's
one
pretty
must
much the
lose.
yeah one of the two loses. That's pretty much the uh, highlight or kind of high level talking about it. Whoever wins goes through, and only for Pakistan and Bangladesh, it's the fact that they need either India or South Africa to lose. Simple.
और इंडिया हारे तो चप्पला मारेंगे. So
अब
I don't think India can.
चप्पला नहीं बेचारे, उन लोगों को बहुत चीजें मारी है, खाली
I
चप्पला नहीं.
don't think India. I don't think India can afford a loss, and that's why I'm pretty confident that they will go for
I
it.
think as good as Zimbabwe has been this tournament, I think that they've kind of peaked already, and
Yeah,
they've been some, because of the data and everything. They've been somewhat found out. They understood a little bit more that about Sikandar Raza. You bowl outside off, he's struggling a little bit. He's going to take some time to develop that side of his game. He's still a very good player, but he's going to take a little bit more time to develop that side of the game. The bowlers, they have now seen enough of these bowling, and they know what to expect. The data is so good these days that it's available right away at your fingertips as soon as the game is done. So India is one thing that India I know will do well is they'll do their homework. Execution has been a little bit of a problem in the past for them, but I think their homework will be done as well as they possibly can. And I think if a 75% Indian side shows up, I still think they'll win.
yeah, 100%. And uh, Don, I think yeah, we have 10 minutes left. I know that you have to go in 10 minutes because you have to go to sleep, and
No, I
you
don't
have
have
to,
to go to sleep, but I will
you,
be sleeping a little earlier today so that I'll be
you,
ready for the India Zimbabwe
the
game.
thing is, the South African game is around like 7, 8 p.m. for you. So
7
you
p.m.
have
per
to go to
week.
sleep
Yep.
right now. You have to go to sleep right now. Wake up then, and then you're busy. Then you have those three games. Then you have Arsenal, Chelsea, and then you have
Oh shit,
Liverpool,
it's at
Tottenham.
6 in the morning. Oh my god, it's gonna
So
be bad.
yeah, that's why Don is going to sleep in 10 minutes, and I understood that's why I was ready to do this podcast, this episode from anywhere I was. I kept my laptop with me. I knew this man will message me anytime, and I'm prepared because he has to sleep in 10 minutes. So before you sleep, Don, let's go to our last segment. It's fresh off the press. One sort of news. I mean, it's something that I noticed. We like a bit of controversy, so the post match between I think it was Ian Wright, Owen Morgan, and Alex Hales. That was an awkward situation because Alex Hales did not even for 1 second look towards Morgan. In the past, there was issue. Morgan came out in the press, just to give you a better context, saying that his behavior was bad. What he did in Brisbane was totally unacceptable. You have to be a role model outside the field as well, and blah blah blah. And basically, Alex Hales lost 2 3 years because of Morgan's decision not to pick him in the team. And yeah, so today that interview, you can clearly. I'll give you one thing. Morgan, like on commentary, he still praises HLC, like
Yeah.
compliments him today when he was hitting the shots. I think he's a professional at his job, but I understand coming from Alex Hale's point of view that a couple of years were ruined, so that a bit of
I think I completely understand it from Alex Hale's point of view because he
yeah,
lost to 2 years and he's a very good batsman. You've seen that time and time again that he's been a very good batsman. But you have to sometimes think of it from Ian Morgan's place as well. If you have seen something off field that you're not happy with, and if you let it go, then that opens a can of worms for your side. Like let's say something else happens in the future, and then if you reprimand that, then they'll be like, "Arey, Alex को तो छोड़ दिया, मेरे को ही कर रहे." That kind of a situation can arise. So I understand it from both people's perspectives. They both in their heads obviously will probably have different ideas and different thoughts about it. But I think as a captain and as a important member of a team that was revamping and team that was really starting to show themselves as one of the top sides, I think it became a little important for him to take that call and take the bounce fall for it as well, because he was a captain. Maybe the decision came from upper management or from
yeah,
the English board or whatever, and he had to be the one, the kind of the scapegoat to go through that. So
announced.
you have to look at it from that perspective as well. But yes, I completely understand Alex Hales, giving him the cold shoulder, because irrespective of whatever you say, if you've lost 2 years of your prime, where he has been all in all, the Big Bash and the Pakistan PSL and everything has been scoring very good. So
And
yeah.
also, Don, he was the one of the main men, along with Roy, who started this revolution of attacking cricket and scoring 400 on the board. I think it was against the Pakistan Trent Bridge where he smashed it as well, Alex Hale. So he was part of that whole regime. So to get dropped like that, and he's one of the, I'm sure, few who bought into that Morgan philosophy. But yeah, things did turn sour. It's going to happen. We saw that previously also with Strauss and Peterson. I don't know if I've seen them in commentary together, but I'm sure we will in the future. But yeah, it does happen. in the future we'll see Gavaskar and Kohli also together. I'm sure. That's so. And Twitter always grabs these things. Another thing is, it's the king's birthday today, so wishing him a very happy birthday. He cut the cake
Happy
with the
birthday
media,
to
which
the
is
king.
he's turned 34, and
34. He looks and plays no less than 25.
yeah, I think he gives people like me who are going to go to his 30s next year a lot of confidence, and that
He
30s is
gives
still
people
you can perform.
he gives people like me who are in my 30s already a lot of underconfidence कि अरे इन्हें ऐसा है तो अपन ना क्या कर रहे हैं बोल के.
Yeah, but happy birthday to Virat Kohli and many more birthdays to come, many more great innings. And this month has been very special. I mean, this last 2 3 weeks has been very special. What he did against Pakistan, that feeling that he gave to all of us, I don't think it's very hard to replicate that unless something happens in the finals. But oh my God.
Straight down the ground, that six straight down the ground to Harsh Roth is going to etch in my memory on the till the day I die.
We need
Like
to,
huh?
we need to start that. What do you call it? The thing बोर्ड on जो बेचते बना के उसको क्या है वो like
Memes,
not memes man like
reels.
no it's not social media it's like not a gift what is it called man the thing you said बोलो it'll come to my mind.
If you please tell me what it is, you prioritize message me as well if you remember because I'm really intrigued now. But yeah, I think that six will be the till the day I die. I'll remember it. Every day. The other day I was randomly sitting over there and I just started shouting, "Oh, what a shot from Virat Kohli!" My wife got scared. She's like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" That's literally how I'm thinking about it. Like it keeps coming in my mind as a flash, and I'm like, "Ooh, what a shot!" And then the other
Yeah,
day it was kind of coming on some Instagram reel while I was just kind of scrolling through and I just saw
yeah.
that and I sat down there and watched it like 10 more times again. So that's literally how it has been for me.
He's an emperor. It's a shot of an emperor. That's what the guy said. The Australian video commentary.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll never forget that. But yeah, happy birthday to him. Any other news that you wanted to discuss? Anything coming out of any camp?
I haven't read anything else, but this was the most important one, the Alex Hells and Ian Morgan one that happened just a little while back. So you and me both watched it and commented about it offline as well. So yeah, it's very
Yeah.
interesting.
And I wanted to confirm that because I wasn't sure before. I was on air with Vinay and Ryan. I want to confirm that if Australia did qualify, whoever plays them would play in Sydney. And that was the rule last year as well. If India qualified for the semis, they play in Dubai, not Abu Dhabi.
Yeah,
And because Australia are out, England will
the
play
game goes to
Adelaide.
Adelaide.
The game goes
It
to
goes
Adelaide.
to it goes to King's backyard against the King. Let's bring on whoever you want.
And it's in the next this next game against Rob is in Melbourne, where he's like just scored the innings of his life. So I don't
Yeah,
think he'll mind
yeah.
that either.
At the G.
At the G. That pretty much wraps it up. Don, anything else you wanted to discuss? Any last thoughts going into tomorrow? It's going to be a big day, man.
I think the somewhat of a upset, at least for me and not for you necessarily, was Australia losing. But I think apart from that, we haven't really, even though this tournament has been fizzled with a lot of surprising results and everything, I think everything else has kind of played out pretty much to how I kind of expected it. I expected India, South Africa, New Zealand to be good, but just miss out, and Australia and New England to come through. And I think that's literally what has happened. So even though there have been like some interesting results, some strange ones, we've seen a lot in this World Cup, and it's been one of the best ones in a long time. And just to finish it off like this is a bit of not necessarily a surprise, but I hope that India can go on and win this World Cup. That's literally what I've just been hoping for. One more week left of this late night for me, and then I'll just go get some sleep.
Yeah, hope, for sure. Hopefully, thank you for joining us and working really hard on this tournament. Really enjoyed your view, especially today. Look, this is a type of a format where anything can happen. We saw that Bangladesh game was very uncomfortable. We wouldn't have this conversation that India England semi-final at all if that game went if it rained a bit like for
South,
another 10
yeah,
15 minutes.
yeah.
So this format can bring any surprise. Be ready for that. Of course, we're confident that India will win and South Africa will win, but anything can happen over here. I would not put any money on it right now and just make any predictions like that because
If the
this
if the if
this
the rain
tournament looks
gods if the rain gods have anything to say, today is the day for them to really come out there and get some noise around them. That's the best way to do it.
yeah, and it's crazy how India games there's been prediction for rain in almost every game and they've had a 20 over match. Yes, the
Barely rain.
Bangladesh was 16 overs, but there's been a result that
Yeah.
India Pakistan game was supposed to rain, man, and just crazy how it didn't. But
That's
yeah,
true.
Tom, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me. It was a pleasure,
Of course,
and
man.
I will catch you hopefully tomorrow. Enjoy the games. It's a big day tomorrow, so get some good sleep
Yeah.
and put your alarm. And I will catch you tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Take care, man.
Take care. Bye.